listening to the Warlord Radio Podcast.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Warlord Radio Podcast. Today we have very special guests. We have Lament Configuration from right here in Denton, Texas. Say hello, fellas.
Good evening.
And introduce yourselves and tell the good people out there what you do.
I'm Sam, and I play guitar in Lament Configuration.
I'm Joe, and I play drums in Lament Configuration.
And we already did this, but Jason fucked up the first take.
You know, I was getting this sense of deja vu. I swear to God, it feels like this has happened before.
But will you let us know the other guys in the band as well?
Yeah, Jared plays bass, Krishna plays guitar, and Tyler, as we mentioned before, is our large...
Get up on the mic for me.
Large guy.
Yes.
So we can hear you.
All right.
Imposing.
He is a bit imposing, yeah.
Yes,
He wants to be, yeah.
So I caught you guys for the first time. Joe's been sending me videos of your shit for a couple of months now, and I really enjoyed it. And even like the live videos, I was like, man, these guys are pretty tight live. And then I actually got to see you the other night with Monogamizer and Acoustic Devil
Right.
at Backyard on Bell and Doomfall. Doomfall?
Yeah, they were the headliners.
Yeah. I think I was already a little drunk by then.
That's okay.
I assume they were
That's why
good.
we're here.
I assume they were good.
I distinctly don't remember being like, these guys fucking suck, so I assume they were all right.
Right on.
But yeah.
Well, thanks, man. That was a fun show.
That was a really cool show.
And you guys crushed it. You are, in my opinion, one of the tighter bands I've seen live in a while. Like, you and Rod of Obsidian, and that's it.
I appreciate that. Those guys
are
were extremely tight.
Yeah, they're
fucking. Well, they're like so tight that it's like
Yeah.
almost ridiculous. Like you can tell somebody's being an asshole at practice. Like,
Yeah, well, someone has to be. You know?
that's true. That's so very true. So when did you guys start Lament Configuration?
That's Lament Configuration as the iteration is now. The five of us.
okay. Give me well if we got to rewind, then rewind. Give me the story,
Okay,
Sam.
Well, they've all known each. Well, they meaning Joe, Jared, and Krishna have all known each other before I met any of them. And to kind of sum it up as fast as I can, we were all brought together by this one individual who I'm not going to name.
No, we shouldn't do that.
I'm not going to use names, but we know who he is. But that's not the point.
Hey man, I just want you to know this is a safe place, and you can talk shit about whoever the fuck you want on this.
It's not about that. It's just a story.
It's not. Believe I've said all I need to say. Fuck him.
All
with the broken
right.
We
I'll
can be petty
let it go.
later if you want.
Yeah, most
That's-
definitely.
I'm
I'm not done drinking yet. So, like I said, we all answered a Craigslist ad made by the same cat, and
Okay.
if we Krishna included, but he wasn't in the band when I first joined up. And
well, let me actually hop in if I could.
but please do, Joe.
So I actually played with this dude in this band a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
What was the name of that band?
That was Queen Anne's Revenge. I was
Okay.
briefly playing with Evie and all them.
Was it pirate metal?
It kind of was, frankly. And
Was it pirate metal?
I mean, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, for whatever
I feel like you
reasons-
can't answer that question that way. Is it pirate
I
metal?
really didn't expect to get pinned to the wall on this one. Frankly, I did not. You guys caught me off guard. No, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out in that band. So, dude and I went our separate ways.
Right.
And then just out of the blue, he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, I got a new band. You know, do you want to come down and play drums?" And I was, I had recovered. You know, I remember I got
Yeah, because
injured
a while
years
back
ago.
you had like a knee surgery or something, right? And it,
No,
what was it?
I just was gigging too much and
Just fucked up your knee?
yeah, and I had bad technique too, and I ended up injuring myself. So
Oh, that happens, I suppose.
yeah, just hitting too hard.
You do hit very, very hard. But I distinctly remember being like, man, this guy's an incredible drummer. And then like 3 weeks after that, you were like, yeah, I can't play drums anymore. I fucked my whole body up.
Well, set it back. You know, there's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
You know, working on your technique, having a better training regimen, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, long story short, I had completed that process, and dude hits me up, and you know, dude's got some quirks. I knew that going into it, right?
He's like
the
Rain
cra-
Man if you couldn't count the pencils on the floor.
but can play the shit out of guitar. Can play the shit out.
Sure,
Of
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely can. You know, you got to give him that. So anyway, he gets me in. You know, and the only person from that lineup who is still in the band is actually Jared.
Okay.
And we played with him for a little while, and you know, and then there was just like a cycle of other guitar players. Right, it just wasn't working out. And then Sam came into the band, and I think I'll kick it back to you because I've been talking for a minute.
I mean, not really.
Hogging the mic,
You guys got like an hour. If you think you're talking too much now, you just buckle
I like
up.
to-
that was
like
a
to
good
pass the
caveat. 'Cause
ball,
I
you know?
felt like
It
I
was
was
a good
kind of
segue.
floundering there, so it's all right.
It's like, let me roll the ball your way. You do.
So,
yeah. Were you gonna say something?
well, it's just so I got this right. So there was this pre-existing band.
Sure.
Joe was in it for a while, and then kind of took his little hiatus due to just completely fucking up his knees, and then you get hit up out of the blue by this guy, the Craigslist guy, the guy that you won't mention, correct?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay, and then after a slew of guitar players, you landed on Sam. Am I I'm right here?
Yeah,
okay.
perhaps not a slew, but
More than one or two.
Bevy?
probably like
A bevy, one might say.
6-ish. I want
A
to say
cornucopia.
A plethora?
A plethora.
6 or
You know what
7. A
plethora is,
bundle.
Joe?
A bundle of guitars.
Did you really go through 7 guitar players? That's a lot, Joe.
I mean,
Is that really a bundle of 7?
I don't know, but that's a lot of
like
dudes.
maybe
That's 7 human men.
I don't feel like we can righteously
Maybe
continue
5
with the
or
story
6.
until we know what a bundle is.
I think it was 5 or 6.
All right.
5 or 6 is a bundle.
But anyway,
So after enough
enough
players-
guitars, sure. That,
Once the quota had been met,
enough that one might think that there might be a common denominator. You know what I mean? One might draw that conclusion. But
I
anyway.
see a pattern
Yeah.
emerging.
So I joined the band, and like he said, I know this old boy is real quirky, but he's also very serious, and he's got a lot of knowledge about gear, and he can play too. So
He's like, yeah, this is definitely a sweep. Yeah,
sure. definitely power tube.
definitely power tube.
But so anyways, we go to write and stuff, and we're writing. I try to write with him so at one point, long story short, because we write a couple songs together, but we really didn't get them pinned down because he had already had 3 written before I was there, and we were constantly running those. The Joe can attest to this, running them. I mean, we had them fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with practicing songs.
Right,
Let's write
right.
some new stuff, especially when you got a new guy in the band that's obviously trying to do something.
Agreed. Like you
And Joe will again agree. Sorry to cut you off, but Joe will again agree that the stuff that I wrote is totally different.
Okay.
From what he wrote. But I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just like you're absolutely right. Like teach the new guy the new shit, sure, but like this is an opportunity to like kind of evolve your sound a little bit and write some new shit.
Sure.
yeah.
So at one point, I'm at work. I guess we were all at work, but Hex conversation. I was installing a ceiling fan actually, and not that that's terribly interesting, but that's what I was doing.
So what kind of screws were in the fan,
Yeah.
Sam?
Well, I had to replace my battery twice, as it turns out. It was a tough one, but anyway,
not a fan of that.
And I got
Well, fuck your band. I want to hear more about this.
Yeah,
fan.
hold on now.
He was really screwed.
Let's not
over.
breeze kind of a hubbub, as they would a hoopla.
A
one might
hoopla,
say.
a brouhaha.
A brouhaha, you
Bit
might
of
say.
drama.
A little scuttlebutt. You know. So and the bone of contention is between Jared and the aforementioned Craigslist post fella.
Okay.
And he is taking the tack that Jared does not practice, blah, 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 doesn't contribute anything. And he's texting me behind the scenes in this conversation, said, do you think it's going to motivate him? To which I said, absolutely not.
No, you're just going to piss this fucking guy
I said,
off.
absolutely not. So
You're handling this completely wrong.
we all came to the consensus, even Jared, who was righteously upset, said, you know what, fuck it, let's just go to do practice like we planned to do that day. But he decided, no, he would just quit the band that he had just formed and got all of us together with. So he summarily quit. And at which point we were kind of irritated, myself especially. And because
You're like, I just fucking got here.
not only
man.
that, but I spent a lot of time till like 2 a.m. trying to write stuff and get stuff down with this guy. But anyways,
Right.
that's not the point. The point is we got to work very heavily, and we've played more shows in the small amount of time that we've been a full band, because it was only the 3 of us, me, him, and Jared.
Okay.
Me, Joe, and Jared for those listeners out there. And it was us for a while. He.
Thank you for understanding this is an audio medium.
Yeah.
People don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
We had a guest on. I didn't mean to interrupt. We had a
No,
guest
it's
on. They kept going. He's explaining a story, and he's like, and they were over here, and I was like this, and like every time,
It's like no one can see you.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to
they-
illustrate.
yeah, they would
picture,
explain
buddy.
what he was doing, and it's like,
Yeah, right. That's not how you tell a story with an audio at all.
So-
That's how you do that.
This guy probably, in my mind, quit this band thinking it would completely fold, and you guys were just like, well, fuck that. I mean, we're still a band.
I don't really know what he thought, honestly.
You know,
Because
if I could jump in
you
here.
could.
So, one of the things that was an issue with this guy was dynamics.
Okay.
You know, great guitar player, but like what we all came to find out, the other members in the band, was that dynamics is really important to us.
Yeah, especially in heavy metal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Me and him are
Because,
huge fans of Death. That's one of our main.
They're fucking amazing band, yeah.
And they have those, and Opeth too. That's another big influence of ours.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was clear that need was not being met. In between songs, the same 3 songs we would practice, we would be, playing different shit. Playing stuff at low levels and stuff, and he would always kind of have this look like, I don't know, maybe he knew what was going on, or maybe he just, figured it would be better off without him. I don't know, but the whole thing was just really weird.
That is
Yeah,
strange.
it was. It was very weird.
But, I mean, I think it worked out in the end because you guys have a pretty killer fucking band.
Well, thank you for that. And I tend to agree. It's been pretty rad. We've been pretty busy, and we're about to get even more busy.
I've noticed that, yeah.
We spent all last week tracking drums, trying to get an EP going here, and I'm doing guitar as soon as I leave here.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
We're working
busy.
on that too.
Yeah.
So you guys are balls deep in studio work right now?
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
I mean, Joe's already done. Lucky
That was a
motherfucker.
process, though.
Yeah, hell yes,
It was
it was.
just get off work.
A lot of beer. Good.
Rest for a half an hour, go record to 10, or excuse me, it's 12.
I'm saying,
in the
man,
morning.
I was sleeping in my jeans.
Yeah.
I hadn't done laundry.
I was
for
waking
2
up on the
weeks.
floor at 2 a.m. Fuck, how did I get here?
Oh, I've absolutely done. I've fallen asleep when we recorded the Diesel Beast album. We recorded it in this studio, and I forgot what we were doing, but it was me and you were here real late, and I passed out on that love seat in there, and I guess you tried to wake me up, and I just wouldn't get up, and I woke up the next morning because I also work out of this place. So I woke up ready for work, but my neck hurt so fucking bad from sleeping on that shitty couch.
It's nasty.
But the album sounds good. So.
Hey, man.
You really stuck your neck out for that album.
I did.
Joe, that wasn't even timely or good. Or
This has been a puntastic show already.
It's fantastic.
It's this guy. It makes me sick inside, really. It's a physical assault. It's like getting hit with a baseball bat.
How long did it take you to track your drums out, Joe?
Let's see. We started the process on Monday night, and there was a lot that went into it besides actual playing.
Right.
To get the tones right.
Yeah, and he's probably going to say it already, but many thanks to Aiden Oldnettle of Malconstruct, the drummer, who was a great help to us, and or Joe, I guess, more specifically.
Yeah.
in the respective helping set up
set
the
up the
drums and
mics.
everything.
Very cool, yeah.
They are
Bill-
awesome. Also, if anybody doesn't know about Malconstruct, you should absolutely listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Malconstruct.
Yeah.
So are you guys recording this out of a home studio, or are you... Bitch?
I mean, yeah.
Yes, we are.
I wanted to
Jared's-
give a shout out to Bree Hill, too, who did the tuning.
Bree is a killer fucking drummer.
She's
Most
the
definitely.
best drum tuner that I know.
I actually would agree with that. She's incredibly knowledgeable about drums, and then on top of it, can just play the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So, and she's also cool as
I
shit.
was going to say a very, very genuinely nice person for as skilled as she is. And
Yeah.
Right? If I was that good, I'd be such a dick.
for real.
Me too.
Well, you are such a dick, and you're not that good anyway. So it's okay.
I have no way to justify my...
It would be amplified.
Right? Tenfold.
It would reach diva levels.
So, and how many songs you putting on the EP? Like
I
four?
think we're going to...
Three.
Three?
I think we're just going to...
Yeah, we're going with three.
You tracked out three, and now you're working on guitars. Are you layering your guitars, or are you just doing...
Layering in the sense of like just double tracking for more fullness, or actually like
Well, I mean, like, tell them how you did it.
We double tracked.
sure.
Yeah, and
sure.
like nothing on the album we don't do live. We didn't add anything on the album we don't
Right,
do
right,
live.
right,
I mean,
right.
but not to say that, but
just doubling up on tracks.
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
There wasn't like shit tons of guitar parts. Like
Right,
every
right,
lead,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
it's all there live.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm probably gonna. Me and Jared were talking about that last night, and I think we're gonna go ahead and do that for sure. Because yeah, like you said, my whole thing with it, I want to add little things and nuances, but I don't want to do so much that it can't be replicated in a live show, because then it's not going to sound the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like an album can be more produced
Sure,
if you want it
sure.
to be. You can add synths and pads.
Yeah, if you have a little
whatever.
intro, you can have that little track with it on a sample pad or something
Of
like that. That's
course.
not too crazy. But if you have entire compositions and orchestras
Yeah.
behind you, that's a bit much.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know those guys that they'll layer, like, I don't know, 7 fucking guitar tracks on one guitar, and it's like...
Rings
did
of
you
Saturn?
Really need to fuck... Yeah, exactly, though.
Rings of Guitar Pro.
That shit's almost fucking unlistenable.
It is unlistenable. That shit is garbage.
It's the dense...
I'm going on record as saying Rings of Saturn is
Hot take.
garbage.
Fuck
Yeah.
Rings of Saturn.
So that was my next question was, are y'all doing it pretty raw, or are you going to produce it? But it sounds like y'all are going to do it pretty raw.
Relatively,
straight.
I think the plan is, I mean, we talk about this stuff a lot, and I'm over at Jared's every day, so it's hard for me to put a finger on when we talk about what. But we talked about sending the this off to mixing and mastering to somebody else. I think.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Okay, cool.
No,
right on.
I was.
My suggestion with that: don't skimp on the master.
No.
Like
I've been there, done that, and was very upset with myself.
That's the biggest. Like you can have a mediocre mix, and a good mastering engineer can turn that shit around.
Yep.
But a shitty mastering engineer could kill a fucking good mix.
Right.
Real easy.
That's true.
So
sure.
don't skip on that.
Yeah, it's all about knowing where to spend your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And saving as much as you can. Where
So if y'all are looking for a place, look for Eric
We're not,
Delegard.
so.
Eric Delegard from Real Time Audio here in Denton. He
did the
mixed and
Decent
mastered
Beast
our record
album.
for vinyl, and it sounds fucking amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
really
I don't know
good.
if you've
He does
have
do
you
good
heard our album?
Actually, yeah, I have.
Okay,
It's good.
It's one of the things I like that I've done the most in my life, and so yeah,
Right
I
on,
always recommend Eric because I've put out some shit albums in my time, dude. This is not one of them. I was proud.
Hell
of that
yeah,
one.
dude. Very cool.
So what time are you guys, or when are you guys shooting for to get this thing out? Because that never works out how you plan it.
I was just talking to Joe about that. I was like, man, I'll be able to knock this out in a few days. And I played last night. I said, no, I don't think I will, actually.
It's never
when there's not a
easy as
band to
it is.
We up when I might hit that one little wrong note or two, it makes a big old difference.
Yep.
And you got to play it all, all the way through. But we're shooting. We had our first show. Like I said, we have a pretty full schedule of shows coming up, especially in March.
Right.
We have 5 shows in 4 weeks in March. So we're trying. And our first one is the 15th.
Yeah,
the
15th
Deep Elemental Fest.
Hey, we're
Hey,
gonna
we're
No,
playing
no,
that
no,
too.
no.
It's the
No.
22nd, 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Which
15th is at Tomcat.
Tomcats? Thank
Oh,
you.
cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All
I
right.
believe we're playing that.
Tomcats has some of the greatest fucking their sound guys up there know that room really
Definitely.
well, and so the on stage mix is always fucking great at that place.
I can't remember the dude's name, but that redheaded cat. You know
He
what I'm
was
talking
really
about?
good.
Yeah, he's real.
I can't remember
good,
his
dude.
name either,
Yeah.
but fuck if he did a great
Yeah,
job.
he's good.
Yeah,
I don't want to take anything away from him, but Tomcats is one of the only fucking places in DFW that has side fills on stage, which is like you have your own monitor and then you got two full size fucking speakers giving you the full mix on stage. And that helps tremendously.
Not to mention they have 2 4x12 Mesa cabs on there for you to use if you want. That doesn't hurt either. I don't need it, but that's nice if you do.
setup, man. When you crank it on that stage, it gets so fucking loud.
Woo!
Yeah.
Boy, hell yes.
I was vibrating the stage with my bass last time we played there. I love that shit.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's when we're trying. I think that's when we're shooting to try to get this done by, because once we start doing that, because the idea originally was to try to write new stuff. But I thought, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one that thought this, but we have shirts, but we don't have music,
Yeah.
Because I don't like trying to ask for shows, sight unheard or sounds unheard, whatever you
Yeah.
want, sight
Right,
unseen,
yeah.
whatever
You
the
could
hell.
have a product.
Yeah, right. People coming to your shows is something, and having shirts and whatever, social media. I don't fuck with a lot of social media shit. That's
I am,
you know what I mean?
dude. I'm
We're so bad at
fucking
that.
bad
Yeah.
at that shit.
So
Luckily, our other guitarist Krishna is very, very good at it.
Good,
So,
because you need a guy to do that. You know
he's
what I mean?
very, very good at it.
He's excellent at it, actually.
Yeah.
He's booked a majority of our shows for us, because I'm just like, I don't like talking to people in general that I don't know, especially not asking them for favors and things.
Yeah.
It's not the move for me. But Krishna does not care. He will say anything, ask them, and
You
we get the
gotta
shows.
you gotta fucking ask, or you won't ever
Yeah,
play.
right.
Somebody's got to.
Really
No,
do.
you're right. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
But like you said, you guys, here in the last, I'd say probably 2.5, 3 months, you've been picking up a lot of momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We just
I'd like to
started
think so.
in November.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our
year.
first show. Was the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with Enterprise Earth and Body Snatcher, international bands, I might add.
Yeah. It was a
Nice.
really good first show.
Not only
was that
international,
at?
but good bands, more specifically. And I Am Destruction, who, if you don't listen to them, that's another fantastic.
Yeah, I Am
band.
Destruction is a very good band.
If you like the brutal slam type thing.
Where were you
very
playing
sick.
this show?
This was
2513 Deep Ellum is like the old door in Dallas. I'm pretty sure is what it
Holy
is.
crap. I haven't been.
Isn't
to
it
that
still
place
the
in a
door?
while.
Is it the door?
I don't know.
The
It's
door
called
and Profit Bar?
2513 Deep Ellum, but then someone told me no, it's just the door still. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, because it's the door and the Profit Bar, and I think you're talking about the building that just says it outside, right on top of the
Yeah,
door.
yeah.
That's it. Used to say the door, but now
No,
it
yeah,
has-
I remember when you used to say the door. I thought they just changed the
no,
name.
it's still the door. It's the door and the Profit Bar. It's actually
okay.
the company that owns that is called the Door, like the Doors,
Sure,
the Door
sure.
Clubs. And
right.
so
Yeah, I used
all
to
of
play.
this-
I used to
yeah.
play at Door in Fort Worth by Billy Bob's and all that
Yeah.
shit all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's adorable.
Yeah.
God damn it, Joe.
Dude, see that we were having real.
Don't high five him. Don't fucking.
I fucking love puns, dude.
Yeah,
Especially,
don't do that.
especially super quick ones
so
like
good.
that. They make me happy.
So
Bitch.
good. But yeah, that show was a really nice taste, of where we want to get as a band. Seeing these other bands, these big bands.
Just kind of get up to that next tier.
And shout out to all those bands we played with for showing us much love after.
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact,
man.
as our first show.
That's got to feel nice, like kind of vindicating. You
Most
guys
definitely.
clearly
Most
put a
definitely.
shitload of work into this. Like, I guess one of the things I'm curious about is your rehearsal schedule because you guys are clearly very well rehearsed.
Well, yeah. As of recent, it hasn't been quite because again we've been recording and trying
Doing a bunch of other shit.
Lately.
Yeah,
Frankly, we don't
It has.
practice at all. We've been recording.
we've been just recording, and our shit's been in different places all at once. But
Yeah.
When you guys you hit strong. Like even the videos and stuff that you've been showing me, it's like you guys came out the gate clean and concise.
yeah, that was our idea. That's my thing that I really liked because before we play something, because we have two. Sorry, I'm not gonna exaggerate. 2 new songs that are like one is pretty much done and one is nah.
Yeah.
And the one we what I'm talking cryptid. We could probably play that on the 15th if we really wanted to, but without working on it again.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And of course, no one would know if we messed up besides us. But
we would know.
Yeah, but do you really want to debut that
Boom.
at that level?
Exactly.
Yeah.
At any level,
Yeah.
honestly. Like I don't give a shit if we're playing House Party. Like,
No, I mean, like, do you want to debut the song at that level?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not one bit. But
There's a lot to be said for like taking your time and making sure it's right because I'm sure everybody
Right.
in this room can agree with me. There are very few things on this planet as bad as a shitty metal band.
woo!
Oh boy.
Let's talk about it.
You have to be fucking good to play metal. You just do. I'm sorry.
Well,
Like,
you have to be good in some respect. You don't have
Yes.
to be a great guitar or a great guitarist in the sense of technical facility or
oh, trust me, bro. I am the world's okayest bass player.
Better than that.
like Chuck Schuldiner, for instance, not a stellar great guitar player, honestly. Like he doesn't. I mean, he obviously could play, but his strength. He's a great writer and has a vision, obviously, beyond what most of his contemporaries.
But what I'm saying is, you have to. It's not like there are other styles of music. Like, say, and I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not attacking anybody, but the singer-songwriter shit that is so fucking prominent in this town.
Whew, let me.
It's that kind of town.
Can I tell him what we saw at Killer's Tacos the other night?
Please,
Hot
do.
take from Sam
Oh,
coming
boy.
up.
Go right
Do
ahead.
you know what I'm about to tell him about?
Killer's Tacos is kind of a dumpster fire anyway.
We played a fantastic show.
Good.
we
Killer's
played a
Tacos
great
was
show there.
really
that was a
fun.
really fun show
super fun.
with Malconstruct.
Yeah, we played
and,
with Malconstruct and the Altitude.
That was so much fun.
So then what happened to Killer's?
Okay, so I went. Okay, I almost don't. Okay, and fuck, I'm not going to be too specific because I don't want to embarrass this person I'm talking because she seems like a nice person. But you're not going to listen to this? All right, go away. All right. So I went with him to Killer's Tacos because he said it was a variety show.
Okay,
right?
yeah, that's
yeah.
they do
On
that.
some old school shit, some comedy, some singers,
Yeah.
entertainers. So I went down there to see the shit, and the very first act, he was talking to this chick at the bar, old Joe was, and she said, "I'm going to sing SpongeBob songs," and I thought to myself, like, okay, does she mean songs that she wrote about SpongeBob, or, excuse me,
Like songs from the show.
or songs, right? Exactly. Or are we doing? Is this a tribute? You know what I mean?
Who the fuck starts a
It was
SpongeBob?
the latter. And
Oh man.
and what instrument would they played on? You asked. I'm glad you asked. It was ukulele, of course.
I knew you were
Oh,
gonna fucking
Jesus.
say
What else would it have been?
That is the most Denton shit I've ever heard. In my
that's
fucking
and
life.
Joe can attest to this. I don't like shit like that.
I'm
at
not-
all.
yeah, I'm not a
a
big
fan
fan.
of this irony. Isn't this cute that I'm playing this shit? Not a fan.
Nah, not
But
real
again,
big.
I didn't. She does seem like a nice person, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be shitty to somebody who's doing something they enjoy just to do it.
But it is
I
a
don't
weird
like it.
thing, and I mean that's the setting for it. Like it'd be
Right.
weird if they opened for you
Right.
with Tomcats or something.
That's what I was saying. Like, I mean, this is the place for this. Like, I can't. You found a place to do what you
Yeah,
wanted to do, so I can't be too mad at
The
it.
context is appropriate,
Right. But that was this. It's just.
But
Yeah, the singer-songwriter shit. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
my point is,
that's a
though,
bad
it's like-
example what I just said. But
no, that's funny as shit. But my point is that like anybody can learn 6 or 7 open chords and like stumble their way through an open mic set
Sure.
or something like that.
Definitely.
But to do things like heavy metal or even really good hip hop or some shit, like you have to know what the fuck you're doing.
yeah. Yeah.
And like,
So what makes a good metal band then?
Well, that in and of itself is
good
subjective.
metal.
Because I like sludgier, more dissonant stuff than you do. Like I think I'm gonna make another plug for the band Convulsing, who's a one-man project out of Australia that I think
nice
made the best record in the past 10 years, which is Errata. It came out in 2017. Oh my bad.
What's the name of the band?
Convulsing.
Convulsing. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's if you like Gorguts, Ulcerate, Krallis, anything like that, real dissonant, sludgy. It's not real sludgy, but it's very
like
dissonant,
metal.
ugly shit. It's very, very sick. It's very, very sick.
I like everything from like melodic, high symphonic shit to like Sun-O just feeding back.
Ooh, yeah, I love me some Sun. Hell fucking yeah, dude. Some Yob. They're coming to town in April. I can't wait to see them. That's so sick.
But between all these different tastes that we have in the band, there's all these different influences, and I think that's where we get a lot of our sound from.
You guys do have a very diverse sound. Like I wouldn't just pigeonhole you guys as like they're a death metal band or other like
Actually,
black
we talked about this. We are death metal, but we're death metal
with air quotes. Yeah,
like
death as in death, the Chuck Schuldiner vehicle. Yeah. Because again,
that guy sure knew how to get new members of his band.
And not only new members, but just like the cream of the crop, dude. Like fucking Steve DiGiorgio. I always say that wrong. DiGiorgio playing bass, one of the best bass players. Andy LaRocque, sick.
Gene
Hoglan on the drum. Richard Christie also on drums, dude.
Everybody that went through death was like top of their fucking game, dude.
James Murphy,
sick.
Bobby Kolb,
and it really helped that Chuck was his Schuldiner. I never fucking get that right. But he had a very
name, so.
Yeah, that's true. He had a super vivid vision of what he wanted done. You know what I mean? And that was why he was able to apparently it made him a bit difficult to work with, but the guy was a fucking genius.
but I mean, at what cost? He made, in my opinion, like at least 4 of the best death metal albums ever written.
He created one of the most popular subgenres in the entire.
They created
fucking,
tech death. Them and Atheists made
melodic and tech death
with individual thought patterns. They pretty much created tech death, or human. You could argue they started there.
Yeah.
But Atheists definitely, like with Unquestionable Presence and Elements. Like Roger Patterson is one of the most underrated metal musicians of all time. The bassist for Atheist.
I'm inclined to agree because that guy is just fucking. He plays like a fucking power drill. Like
exactly, dude. He's so
such
sick.
A driving.
He's
fucking
so
style.
sick. But you still, it's not an overpowering thing like a Primus situation where the guitars are taking back seat to it.
Right.
The guitars are still riffing, but you can that biting Geddy Lee-esque bass sound.
I always love a good bass player in a metal band because so many times the bass is either just mixed out or
it's not worth hearing.
Or not worth hearing. That's
worth hearing is the main key.
Yeah.
A band with a good bass player is Chronicles of Atlantis. So many shout out to them.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent bass player, excellent band.
Out of France.
Yeah. I love that band.
Chronicles of Atlantis. That's a great
Atlantis.
name.
Did you say? Hold on. Did you say Chronicles of Atlantis? It's Atlantis Chronicles.
Atlantis Chronicles. Sorry,
Chronicles.
It must be this monster.
You're all fucked up on the taurine.
Man, I tell you, it gets in your brains.
Woo!
Could be these dark chocolate covered coffee beans too.
That's true. Joe showed up with like fucking snacks and caffeine like out the ass here. We're going to see how this goes throughout the podcast. I might get a little schizoid at the end.
Dad friend. Yeah, that's me. But yeah, amongst all these diverse, kind of tastes that we have found a band that we all agree is sick, and that's Vervum.
I'm not familiar with Vervum at all.
Metal.
Are they? You need to get familiar, my friend.
Fucking A.
Because that is
Swiss
the
technical
best
death metal.
Are they Swiss or are they German? I thought
Swiss.
they were German.
They're
okay.
Swiss.
Those are just
they're
Germans.
from Switzerland. They could be Germans living in Switzerland.
I'm pretty sure
But Switzerland are just the nice Germans. Like
they could be Germans in Switzerland. Don't know this.
Did you ever listen to Fallujah?
Yeah.
Okay, they kind of sound like that, but way more technical.
Okay, I like
Fallujah, like the Arabic
Fallujah?
city. Fallujah.
It's not Fallujah.
No, stop.
No?
It's not Hispanic, so no.
Fallujah from the islands.
But yeah, they're like the successor to the Fallujah sound in my opinion. They're kind of like major key-ish type stuff, but still very shreddy and heavy.
It's where you're like, in your mind, you're like, this sounds bright and happy, but it's not at all.
It is sometimes, but it's also they're extremely technical. They have He'll some of the craziest drum parts I've heard. This stuff is sick.
I was playing that for Brie actually, and we were both just like,
"That's What's it? Illuminance. That's what the album's called. Illuminance. Yeah. It's
a really good album. Really great drumming. It's not a drum machine. I've watched the live.
Are you certain? Oh no, I've seen them play live, like right in front of me. I know that they have a live drummer.
Definitely uses a trigger, but. Like,
I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, a lot of people. I don't know.
A lot of people don't.
But a lot of people do.
A lot of people do. Is it? What do you think the trigger split is?
So okay, now hold on, stop. So do you mean trigger as in like they kick the pedal and a specific sound hits, or like they hit the pedal once and it does a specific rhythm?
No, trigger like that. It's just that one hit is programmed into that little.
I get 95% of all fucking drummers who have that ability do that. I guarantee fucking
exactly
because they want that consistency.
Yeah, especially in metal because that's the sound.
Especially if you're using two bass drums, that's way easier than tuning two bass drums.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, with metal, the kick drum's not even a bass instrument really. It's a tick. It's a fucking attack. Yeah, it's
punch.
You don't use triggers, do you, at all?
No,
I didn't think so.
So doesn't.
And actually, like, because we do some stuff where we're playing at lower volumes.
Yeah,
I find that triggers because we practice at Jared sometimes on his and I'll play on his electronic kit.
Oh, I hate those fucking things.
It's actually not bad. He's got a Roland TD-20, an old.
So he's got a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. But like, there's a limit to how much you can express. You know, you can only get so quiet. You can only get so loud.
Yeah.
And you know, I've told some sound people like at the gigs that we played. You know, I'm like, hey, there's gonna be times when I'm gonna play really quiet. Times when I'm gonna play really loud. You know, that's not a mistake. That's that's
doing
music.
It's dynamic. I'm doing that on purpose.
Because it throws some people off. You know,
no,
like,
it does.
You play a metal show and people expect you to just be the whole time, but it loses its effect if that's all that there is.
Exactly.
I'm starting to notice though that around here, like the DFW scene that we're all part of, like that's changing up a little bit. That people aren't going for that just straight up, in your face, complete sonic.
Right, that caveman type shit.
Yeah, they're looking a lot more into things like dynamic. People are starting to experiment a lot with melody and shit like that. Where like 5 years ago,
have you noticed that? Because I haven't noticed that so much myself. Maybe I'm not watching enough shows with the right bands or something. I mean, for real. That might, if you notice,
I'm looking out for it maybe because like if you're doing something like that, I'm going to pay attention. If you sound like fucking everybody else, I'm going to go get a beer. Like I'm sorry,
right? And Joe can attest that I'm definitely the same way. If I don't want to watch, I'm not going to stand and watch you if I think your shit is not good.
No.
And
I'll be nice to you, and I certainly applaud you for having the balls to get there and do it in the first place. But if I don't like your band, I'm not going to watch your fucking band.
No, absolutely not. No, I don't give a damn if you're my friend or not. I'm not watching that shit.
I got a few that it's just like, I love you. I really hate this shit.
The worst is when they're actually good at their instrument. It's just not a genre that you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where you can respect the quality, but you're like, I would rather chew my foot off than listen to fucking sets.
Look, dude, that's some deep, slow country, and I'm just not about that.
Yeah, that's.
But you're really good at it, But yeah,
that's a really good example. We run around with Melissa Ratley, and
that name sounds familiar.
She's a country artist,
killer country artist. She's fucking great.
Right.
I don't really fucking like country. I've never
I
really
do.
liked.
I don't
country.
either.
I don't.
I've produced both of her records.
And this is a very Denton thing to say, but I don't like new like contemporary country.
No, that makes sense. If I'm going to listen to country, I want to listen to like old outlaw shit. I'm not.
That's the thing. Is she is not new country. She is old style,
she's
old
like
school.
country rock, I'd say, like a little bit.
She reminds me of
not like red dirt country or anything.
I
old
do not
school.
Fuck with that red dirt.
No. This is like old timey.
Melissa reminds me of like vintage Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can dig that.
Yeah, like late Patsy Cline.
Sure.
Yeah.
Real Tennessee type shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Totally.
There are definite rock and roll influences in there, but and I love her to death, and everybody in her band is absolutely at the top of their game for that style of music.
A lot of those, I mean, I don't know how true it is nowadays. I'm sure it's not totally different, but back in, I was raised by my dad telling me like guys like Glenn Campbell and Ricky Skaggs, and all them cats were like the sickest players ever, which I thought was dumb because they're playing this hick ass shit. But try to play the shit they're playing and tell me that it ain't hard.
No, dude, I ate so much crow. A while back, I went to the Crossroads Guitar Festival that they do in Austin. My dad took me. And the whole time we were going down there, Dad kept talking about Vince Gill. And I was like, man, fuck Vince Gill. Like, fuck his honky-tonk bullshit.
Dude,
Vince Gill's good.
Oh, yeah, no, and then I saw Vince Gill play, and I was like, fuck, that guy's incredible, man.
Great
He
musician.
can play.
Yes.
Songwriter.
Yeah,
Take Your Memory With You. That's one of my favorites.
A guy I also saw at
killer.
Crossroads that I did not believe could play, but several adults told me was sick, was Neil Sean from Journey.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can play guitar, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, the original guitar player?
Yeah, Neil Sean.
That guy's a beast.
Who he played with Santana before he played with Journey, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you love Santana. So.
Yeah, as everyone who knows me knows, I love Santana.
I
always
fucking
telling
love
me how much
Santana,
you love
too.
Santana.
That's what I was just telling him on the way.
You didn't
here.
even say hi. You just it's
It's-
like, I love Santana.
If I could just hear
It's like,
Black
dude,
Magic Woman one more time.
Europa was like one of the sexiest songs ever written, in my opinion.
He just makes the guitar cry, man.
No, he's more of a smooth era Carlos Santana.
That's me.
Give me your heart, Mary.
If Rob Thomas isn't singing with the guitar, then I'm not.
He's not about it.
I'm not with it.
The only Santana song that I ever learned how to play was that one he did with Everlast.
Leave Your Lights
Leave Your
On.
Lights
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey,
I dig
now.
that tune. Yeah. But I've got that
nice
voice that sounds like I've been gargling corkscrews so I can cover Everlast song.
I can dig it.
I can see that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are we looking at time-wise here, Jake?
We got a few more minutes.
All right.
All right. Well, I was like, what are you guys doing after this? No,
I'm going.
Are you
I'm
hitting
going
on
to
me?
track guitar.
Yeah.
going to track guitars. So,
Or try to, anyways.
and where are you guys? You're just doing this out of
Our
Jared's
bassist's house. Yeah, he is. He has the worst case of gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh,
For those
yeah.
of you who don't know what that is
Yeah.
out there, and meaning he likes to buy shit he does not need but could use.
God, it could use.
Yeah, that he could, and if
But there's a good chance
if X
he could.
impossible scenario were to occur, he could possibly ostensibly use it, so he buys it,
But that's yeah.
which sometimes works to our advantage, or more often than not, honestly.
It's
But
pretty kitted out for a home studio, I'd imagine.
it's yes, it is. Yes, it is, especially since he just moved into the master bedroom at his house
nice.
instead of the little one he had. So yeah, we got even more space. It's pretty sweet little situation, I have to say.
During the break, we can show you some pictures of the process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see him for sure.
He was trying to like make it fun and had like the lights going and like the smoke machine underneath the.
He loves a smoke machine.
I mean, I do
Jared.
too. Frankly, like,
Jared loves
I really
the smoke.
elevated the game. We
Hi,
played
Jared.
at Killers too. We had the laser going.
Smoke machines always fuck my throat up.
Yeah, well, you got to stop
Always
huffing
fuck
them,
my
dude.
throat up.
I know it feels.
That is Jay just down there just sucking the fucking fluid right out of the
It's like,
smoke
oh,
machine.
give me that shit.
So wasted, bro.
Jared's dog actually does attempt to do that
He
when the
wants
smoke
to
comes
fucking-
out. He wants it. So as soon as it comes out,
wants
he
that
runs up
fog
to the
juice.
machine and wants it to come
It
out.
kills me that he fires the damn thing up at practice. Just like, we need effect. for
No,
practice.
this was when we were recording.
This was this wasn't even exactly. This was not even for practice.
he was just fired.
This was for when pomp and circumstance means absolutely nothing.
and like the thing is though, like that's what I love about him. Frankly, like
You think sometimes when you guys
He's
aren't
a
even
hilarious
there-
person without making any deliberate effort at all. He's
true.
he's a hilarious.
I'm just
person.
picturing a dude sitting alone in his house, just like looking kind of sad, and then he just reaches over like,
That's the one thing about Jay. He's rarely alone in his house. There's almost always 2 to 3 other people in his house that don't live there.
That, man. God.
yeah. In the recording process, I had to wear thermals underneath because
Well,
people-
one of those people is me 9 times out
Yeah.
of 10.
Fair enough.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to keep warm and I get sweaty and then like I end up taking my shirt off. And then people are like, let us go for a smoke break. I'm like, the fuck? Like, I'm like right by the back door and like tossing on the thermal and shit. I'm like, you didn't understand. I don't want to get cold. Trying to record with a
I
bunch
did
of cold
understand.
limbs.
I just wasn't impressed. I just
Yeah,
didn't
no,
care.
I got that. I definitely
Utter
got that.
disregard.
So lesson learned, there was some adjustment that needed to be made for the process. But in the end, I think
True.
everybody had a rhythm, even the
No, we
people
got
around us.
we got good takes. We got really good drum takes. Now it's unfortunately up to me.
Is it? So is everybody else done? Is it just you, or is
No,
it,
no, it's we only have Joe done so
Okay.
far. It's I got it. Now it's me, and then Krishna, our other guitarist, will come behind me, and then Jared.
That guy's
and-
sick too, man.
Yes, he is. He's and he's been playing far less than I have. He has. I got a lot more years on him, but he's catching up quick.
Nice.
So, which is fine with me, because when I told them when we were trying to find someone else, like if you can find someone better, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
That's- yep.
That's the ideal. That's what we're
Actually,
doing.
that's a funny story. So Krishna actually played with us with Craig's
Oh yeah.
Okay.
before, right? And then all of a sudden we're like, hey, have you heard from Krishna? We haven't heard anything. And he goes, oh, well, he's playing in some band in Dallas now, and he doesn't want to play with us anymore. We're like, okay.
Okay.
So when that dude left, and it was just the three of us, Sam, Jared, and I, I put something out on Facebook. I'm like, hey, looking for a guitar player and a vocalist. And Krishna was like, hey, I'll play with you guys. And we thought that was weird.
You're like, we were told that you hate us. Or
yeah,
something.
basically, right? It didn't make sense, right? So we messaged him, and met up with him, and he was like, yeah, he told me that you guys didn't want me in the band. And
say it off, Mike. Are you fucking serious?
I want to say his name so bad.
No, we can't. We can't do that.
You can say it off, Mike. I'll blow him up on a different episode.
No, we're not going to do that.
Well,
that's really shitty.
We're not.
Man.
Well, the thing is, it ended up working out. That's the thing. That's why you can't be mad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, but who the fuck
what do you mean you
there's-
can't be mad?
That's not even.
That's got nothing to do with it.
There's
A fucking shitty thing is a
there's
shitty
more
thing.
drama that comes from all of this.
Fair
too,
enough.
Anyway.
There is definitely.
I mean,
I
I'm
got
not
thrown
even
out of
in
an
the band.
apartment a few days ago. That was fucking fun.
That has nothing to. I don't think that has anything to do with the Craigslist person, though. Really.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm getting sidetracked.
Hold up, why'd you?
But
get thrown
that was
out of an apartment?
oh no.
Oh God.
Okay.
You brought it up, man.
You did. You actually did.
Let's get back to Krishna first. Then
No,
we'll get back to that.
why the fuck you
I want to talk about Krishna. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to talk about Krishna. So anyway, Krishna comes back, and I remember playing with him before that there was this good chemistry with him, and I was really sad and surprised when he left. You can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes.
That's such horseshit. Oh my god, dude! You should
So
be
that
putting
he
this
comes
on.
back.
Oh, shit.
He comes back, and then it's like, okay, well, so there's not this bad blood or anything. So we
Right.
just start playing, and the practices they just moved.
You guys gel. Like you can tell that as an audience member that you guys like you're on the same page with like kind of how this is supposed to sound.
We hang out constantly. If we're not playing together, we're
That
just
helps.
hanging out all the time.
And that's kind of like a lost thing nowadays. There are a lot of bands that like they only see each other like once a week on practice,
Right,
or like
right.
sometimes not even that much. They'll only get together to record. Like,
Right.
I know that because of just the way that I came up, I've been playing music since I was like 13 years old. I've always
Sure,
done
same.
like you always like become friends with your bandmates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's important.
Dieselby spends too much time together.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel you. I know exactly what
That's
you
what
mean.
a band is, though. It's supposed to be like a
Right.
second family, But you play music. You have to know the people that you're with.
Yeah,
beyond the
very much so.
instrument.
And it's important because say you do have to go on tour with these people. You want to go on tour with people that you like, know
Enjoy.
and love, and enjoy being
Yeah,
around.
right.
Real.
A fucking
It
stick
sucks
mud-
going on tour with a dickhead.
Oh god damn, it does.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
It's fucking awful.
Do you know anything about that, Joe?
No, my last road trip was actually really pleasant. It was with
Fantastic.
With Bree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Mississippi. That was a really, really fun trip. We went to the crossroads
Cool.
and
Like the Robert Johnson crossroads.
yeah, those crossroads. It was actually, really disappointing. It was just a street sign, essentially. But
What did you expect? Just Satan there?
I
just
thought
like,
there would be like some roads with crosses on them,
Steve Vai waiting to duel
upside
you.
down crosses, preferably. That would have been.
No, it
bad,
was actually
too.
Ralph
What do you think?
Macchio. Ralph Macchio's waiting to duel you.
Well, you're gonna win.
But
I
if
don't
you
actually play guitar. That
if you win the duel against
doesn't
Ralph
either.
Macchio, he still kicks you in the face. Though.
Oh god damn it!
that's how I'm gonna win.
With the Telecaster.
So
I'm gonna play guitar. I'm gonna just kick him.
on that note, we're gonna take a break.
Hold on. Before we take the break, why'd you get kicked out of the apartment, Joe?
I don't know. You'll have to hang out till after the break to
that's
find
a teaser.
out.
That's a teaser.
Hanger.
So what song are we gonna play? I don't even know if y'all sent me anything yet.
No.
Because y'all don't have
No,
anything.
we haven't.
We're
So
recording it.
by the time this comes out, which should be
About a month.
probably toward the end of March.
Okay.
Okay, we should have something by then.
So if you got something cool, if not, we'll figure something out.
No,
to
we'll
toss
have
in
something.
between.
we will have at least one thing. We'll have
Well, we need at least two, so you better bring two.
Two things. Got
Two things.
two things. It
two-
must be
two
Return
things.
with two things. That is our.
return with
All
two
right.
things.
All right.
So they will return with two
Yes.
things, and we will return
With
after we have
Lament
With
nicotine.
why Joe got kicked out of the apartment.
Yes, with why Joe got kicked
Why
out of the
did I
apartment.
get kicked out of the
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lament Configuration.
Must
Your guess is as good as mine on what song this is. We're going to call it King Bumpy's Banana Hour. Yay. We'll be
Fuck
right
yeah.
back.
You're listening to the Warlord Radio Podcast.
Like
Yeah.
symphonic black metal?
Yeah, I know I've listened to them probably a while back, but I couldn't tell you what the
They're
fuck I
just,
thought
they're
they sounded
fucking killer, man.
like.
Like,
Who would you compare them to?
Dimmu Borgir, but not
like Death Cult Armageddon era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Before they went like super hot
symphonic.
Topic. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, because Bishop of Hexen is pretty over the top, but I mean, like their phrasing's so real heavy.
Downloaded. I can't remember what the fuck they sound.
But they had this one. Their big hit was called "A Serpentine Crave," but I mean that's not
I remember that title. Hell yeah.
Those guys are killer. And then I've been listening to a lot of Candlemass, but I always listen.
Oh hell yes, dude.
That guy's got such a fucking
Messiah Marcolin.
Yeah,
dude.
Epicus Doomus or Doomicus Metalis is one of the best fucking metal albums I've ever heard.
That song I suggested them, but they probably don't remember. It was back when Craigslist was still in the band to cover to the at the Gallows End.
Oh fuck yeah,
but with
dude.
harsh vocals. Like I thought that'd be
sweet,
shit
dude. Because like Messiah Marcolin is so operatic. You know what I mean?
Sing for me, sing, brother.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
So does anybody else think it's weird that they've been talking about Craigslist guy all day and we don't have Craig?
That is funny.
Like this is the one episode Craig's not here and y'all have brought Craig with
Craig
you.
also would have gone on a deep dive into Death with You. That's one of his favorite fucking bands ever.
So we'll have to have y'all back and
that would
we'll have to have a
fantastic.
Death episode.
Fuck
yeah,
yes.
down.
100% down.
Right on.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yeah, we're back.
Welcome back to the Warlord Radio Podcast. We hope you enjoyed Lament Configuration because we're going to play them again.
Maybe the same song if they don't give us two.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Joe, why'd you get kicked out of the apartment?
Let's go.
Okay, so there's a story to this, too, actually.
Is there really, though?
There is. I
want to preface this story by saying, like, I've known you for 5 or 6 years now, probably. And you have never been anything but like the nicest fucking cat
exactly.
ever.
Exactly.
So I'm really curious as to like what got you kicked
objectively
out
the nicest person in the band, without question. Without question.
I guess that's true.
Coming from objectively the not nicest person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
well, every band needs one though. You need a balance of personalities.
I'm a dickhead, but I mean, you're like one of the nicest dudes on the scene. You know,
I don't know if I'm
saying.
that nice. I'm pretty nice, but you know.
So how did you get kicked out of somebody's dwelling?
Okay, so the story, there is a story for this because otherwise this will make no sense whatsoever, and you'll just be like, the fuck, right?
All right, man, the floor is yours.
So there is another individual that wanted...
He's an acquaintance of Craigslist.
Yes, actually, he's a friend of the other dudes.
We're going to call him Casual Encounter.
Casual Chad. I don't know. Let's just not call him
Craigslist and Casual Chad. Here we go.
A recurring character.
Fuck yes.
No, anyway, so we were having like this kind of get together at Jared's house, and everything was set up, and we had been jamming and stuff, and everybody was there. And Jared was like, "Hey, why don't we just play our set?" And we're like, "Okay." And at the time, we were still looking for a vocalist. We hadn't found one. I asked Randall Day.
I remember,
but he's already in too many bands. Way too many
Randall
bands.
Day of Monogamizer, who was, I think, like our second or third guest on this show.
I have to say is one of my favorite metal vocalists.
Who was sick and who, we did want for sure, but he was just busy. He was just too busy. The man is just too busy.
That's how it was.
Randall's harsh voice comes from a place like deeper than his gut. It's like in the back of his feet somewhere. Like it's a nasty vocal
it's gross
style.
as fuck. Yeah.
So
anyway, we're looking for a singer, and there's this friend of ours who is again friends with Craigslist dude, and was interested in singing with us.
Casual
and
chat.
So he was like, "Hey, can I do the set with y'all?" And we're like, "Sure, why not?" Right?
Yeah.
So we do the set. It's actually pretty good, and we're like, "Cool. Well, that sounded good. Why don't you meet us at practice tomorrow? Because that's where we're gonna have practice, and we can go through the set, right?" And he's like, "Oh, cool, right?" And we're like, "Sweet, everything's
very
awesome."
enthusiastic.
Yeah,
insistent that he will be there.
The next day,
guess where he wasn't.
No call, no show. The next day,
no shit. So didn't even like give you a heads up.
We didn't hear from him for a week.
Yep.
Wow.
Whoa.
And then
What was the
we
excuse?
did-
Why, Joe? Why didn't we hear from a week? Tell him.
Well, I don't want to speculate on what activities.
I'm telling. I know exactly. What do you mean you don't want to speculate? I know exactly.
Sounds
what,
like meth
exactly.
to me.
Not exactly. No.
Seriously?
He don't do that. He said from his own mouth, guy who we're referring to. So don't act as though I'm making things up. He said that he was rolling, which I already knew at that night. He was on, and he
for
stayed,
a week,
and was not for a week, but that's why he didn't make that particular practice. Yes, I do know That's what I'm saying. I'm saying with
I'm sorry, you're supposed to play rock and roll on drugs. He's doing it wrong.
Well, exactly. Thank you very much, sir. I like. See, thank you. But, yeah. And long story short, he was rolling and drinking in excess, which you're not supposed to do.
No.
And he got very sick and had to go to the hospital, and that's why he did not come to practice. And now, obviously, not acceptable regardless. But had he related that to one of us, it might have been a different situation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for him, fortunately for us, he did not. And now we have Tyler, who is far superior and definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you had to move on.
And that's the thing. That was the story. It's the same thing with Krishna. You know, there was a story to it. Yeah. So Tyler shows up, and he's just perfect personality wise. Like he's exactly
super nice dude. Like I talked to
super chill. Yeah, but
briefly,
absolutely mess you up. You know.
Oh yeah. No, he doesn't look like somebody that can't fight.
No,
just saying.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Accurate.
No, I don't know. He just has this really calming presence, ironically enough. And then, you know, I really feed off of his energy live, you know, just radiates off of him. And I was like,
he's a great front man for sure.
Give me that energy, you know, let me feed off of that. And
he's only 24.
No shit.
Yeah.
God, he's huge.
Yeah, ain't he though? That's what I said. I said, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
But anyway, so Tyler, you know, crosses paths with us, and it's just, like I said, just perfect. So, you know, this dude gets in touch with us, you know, a week later, and is like, hey, you know, I was really interested, and we're like, hey, dude, you know, sorry, but you know, we just happened to meet somebody, and it was just right.
Like we had to move on. We didn't know where the fuck you were.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't call, you didn't, you know, relay anything to us.
If you're late for if you don't show up for the first day of work, do you get the job?
No,
you do not.
And you can't tell a regular boss that you were rolling and drinking and had to get your fucking stomach pumped.
Thank you.
So this all happens, and you know, we thought we were cool.
Right.
Essentially.
No, for all intents and purposes, we were for months afterward.
Like he understood and everything was fine.
Because we both know this guy and we would both see him like on a relatively regular basis. And, you know, I asked, you know, what's going on? Well, I'm playing shows, practicing with the band. And it's not as though he didn't know we were in the same band and referring to the same band. So,
yeah.
And never seemed to have any issue about it. So anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I go to this dude's house and I was wearing one of the band T-shirts. And I'm pretty proud of them because like
they look good. They really do.
It's like a kind of an OG.
I'm pretty pleased with how they came out. Yeah.
OG kind of look.
This is a little bit of a side note, but who did your logo?
His name I believe is Deccan Art on Facebook. He did also. I know a cover that he did do. Another guy's cover he did do. An artist called Beg from Sweden who does like real old school type death metal shit.
Because that's what I liked about it. Is it's kind of got like an old school look to it.
Yeah, he did our logo for us. Tyler actually, that was one of the big things for me. Like, holy shit, this is the guy to have. Tyler just without being prompted paid for that logo.
Oh, right on, man. Yeah,
it was like the second practice, and he was like, "Here, I got this. What do you like it?" And we're like, "It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's fantastic."
So you were wearing your sweet ass T-shirt that you're very proud of.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, check it out," you know, like, and like it just got real weird, and I was like, "Okay." So we're kind of hanging out and stuff. I had my dog with me, which was so stupid. It was raining, and I don't want to leave him in the car. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm usually
because you know it might wash away. What's going to happen if you leave the dog in the car?
Let me tell the story.
God damn it, Joe!
You're barking up the wrong tree here.
Fucking.
Anyway,
you can't.
So I'm like,
I'm about to kick you out of a studio.
We're talking, we're hanging out. You know, this is my friend, and like to this day, like I never like spoke ill of that dude. I was always cool to that guy. You know, I hung out with him. Like his daughter came over one time, and like I don't really like kids that much, but I was a pretty good host.
Yeah,
we rolled those huge dice. You know what I mean? So like,
sure.
Like it just out of the blue, you know, I use his restroom and I come out and like the mood has just fucking changed.
Like you can feel it in the room.
It went from being cool and relaxed to just fucking super.
Keep
tense.
Also in mind as an aside, this individual is known to use stimulants and possibly not get sleep for periods of time. So.
Anyway. Good. Yeah, no, that can affect your cognitive process.
Yeah, so I'm immediate like, oh shit, you know, what happened? I was like, hey dude, you know, what's up? You know, did I say something? I didn't mean to rub you the wrong way, and like you won't make eye contact, you know, and then I'm like, what's up, dude? And like he gets up and he walks over to his door and he says, get the fuck out of my house.
Just like, wow.
And I'm like, dude, like, are you sure you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, man, get the fuck out of my house. And then I'm not going to say the other things that were said because frankly, it's not really a part of the story.
Use some untoward language.
Yeah, there were some untoward things said. He said
that could offend other.
He said he could kick my ass, and I said, no, you couldn't.
No,
that's the thing. It's just like, why get stupid? That's the thing.
Like, why are we even talking about this? We're fucking adults. Like,
yeah, come on, dude.
It just was so disappointing, and like I still wish the dude well. You know what I mean? I don't hate this guy
because you're nice. I would have been like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! You're lucky I don't slash your goddamn tire."
Fuck you, exactly.
There are some details I left out, but that I'll tell you. But like,
which is why the things he's leaving out, which you should leave out, but. Is why I say fuck him with a broken 40 bottle in his fucking ear.
Hey man, I tend to agree with Sam. I don't even know I wasn't even there, but like fuck, he
made a sweeping blanket statement about every fuck. Basically, I'm not gonna say exactly what he said, but he said fuck the entire band pretty much.
Yeah. And
he doesn't even know Tyler at all. Tyler specifically, he's never met and has never done anything.
I hate motherfuckers like that. I got a chance, like I was just doing a buddy a favor. I wasn't even joining the band, but their bass player, he either got fired or quit. I don't know what happened there. And they had a big gig, and they were like, "Hey man, could you learn our songs in a week?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I'm pretty good."
Right.
So I did. And
yeah, modest.
No, it wasn't that bad. And the bass player, the old bass player, like shows up and threatens to kick my ass, and I'm standing there like, I don't even fucking know you, dude.
Exactly.
I'm not in this band. I'm filling in because you fell short somewhere. And it's like, I don't know what your fucking problem is. But yeah,
right,
that guy
came to me, not the other way around.
Exactly. But yeah, he looked at my wife at one point and he was like, I'm going to kick that new bass player's ass. She was like, good luck.
Yeah.
Okay,
good luck with that.
I'm not a small guy.
No, that is listeners at home. He is not lying.
It was fucking silly. So, but how did you know that it was the T-shirt that set him off other than just...
Because his eye kind of twitched. Like, you can't see this, but like, here's his face, right? And they're like, put your hands up like you're showing me the shirt.
Like, go check out my sweet fucking shirt. Really? Really? That's... Ugh. What a dickweed.
Indeed. I agree 1,000%.
Look,
you can't see, but I twitched. I realized I just left a dead space
Joe
there.
wishes you well. I hope you get stuck in a fucking escalator.
Yeah, that's why we need Joe in the band, because I am the complete opposite in situations like this.
Yeah, that would have pissed me the fuck off.
Fuck you 1,000%, dude. I hope you get...
But like, no,
find a lump in your
the
balls.
dude's supposed to be your friend. Shit didn't work out with him because of his shit.
That's the thing. Like, we gave him a shot. He's not a bad vocalist.
You're like, but we're not putting the whole fucking thing on hold for you because we don't know where the fuck you are.
Well, yeah. I mean, and like, you didn't say anything. Like, you said nothing. You didn't communicate shit. I've gotten on fucking people's asses who are in the band for not communicating shit.
Yeah,
I've
we
been
actually
vomiting in my own lap and
Yeah.
been like, hey, I need to shoot this guy a text.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Come
Communication
on.
is everything.
Exactly. Like, don't make me look like an asshole waiting for you.
Well,
Don't
it's
do
like
that
any
shit.
group. Like you obviously, if you're not going to communicate what you need, that first off shows a bit of a lack of respect
Definitely.
for everybody else. But it
Exactly.
definitely, you're disrespecting almost yourself just for kind of wussing out on
Definitely yourself.
making your fucking
Because you're going to sit there and
wants
stew on not saying what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Then it'll either bowl over or you'll have never said it and you'll just feel like a punk forever.
No, you kind of nailed it on the head with that one. Like,
Yeah,
this
really-
guy had
really
a
well
lot of
done
shit
there.
going on. But
Should call him
I guess
Hammerman.
The thing that pisses me off the
Nailed
most,
it.
though, is like this dude's supposed to be your friend. And fuck your puns, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for
Threw my
vocalizing
shit
it. I was going to
off,
let
but
that
yeah.
one go with a middle finger, but you vocalized it for me, and I appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry, I keep encouraging him.
But
Hold on, I'm going to have to use the facilities.
that's all good. All puns aside, but this dude's supposed to be your friend, and all you did was show him something you were proud of, and you got all fucking butthurt
All
about
facts. That's not a friend.
it. Which, yeah, no, I mean, that just kind of makes him like a shitty person.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
It
I'm
is
not
what
wrong.
it is. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, no, that's a bullshit move.
No, that's really all I have to say about that.
No, okay, no, that was a good story because you essentially got kicked out of your apartment for wearing clothes.
Not my apartment.
Or
His apartment.
this guy's apartment for wearing clothes.
I live in a house, not an apartment.
I know you have
And
a
I
very
can't
nice
get
house.
I can't get kicked out of my own house.
No, you can't.
I'd be like, no, you leave, and you'd be like, oh shit, this is your house.
It is a nice house. Joe was kind enough to put Diesel Beast up one night when there was a session going on where we usually play. And I gotta say, we had a blast.
The
at your
Helllights.
house. Yeah. I talked to your roommate for like an hour after practice.
Yeah, he said you guys are
Dude.
cool as shit. It was fun.
He was a nice dude.
Yeah, that room is small and loud, but it works really well.
It did totally work, and he had like smart lights. It was a very nice.
He set the mood
ambient
for us.
effect,
It was
very much
nice.
So. Wyatt wasn't even that big of a douche. I love you, buddy.
Nice.
That's always our the thing is we have to deal with Wyatt. That's our band.
Yeah, it's a running
Dealings.
gag on
I
the
love
show.
his playing, man. He's such a good guitar player.
He is.
He is.
He is a knucklehead. Like, in the best way. He's like that member of the band. Like, I love him like a brother, but not like Jason, where it's like, I'd do anything for my brother. It's more like my little brother. I'm like, does Mom know you're here?
He's a big Opeth fan, too, and that's something I've
He
always
is.
respected
And
about
he,
him.
every now and then, he'll bust out an Opeth cover, and just flawlessly, because you can tell he's into it. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite bands. Like,
They're fucking great. I mean,
best.
nobody sounds like Opeth. Like, that's a
true.
completely original
Well,
sound.
Dan Swano
Opeth does.
Dan Swano does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because Opeth was,
Yeah,
influenced
I
by
know.
it, but yeah.
So you guys said you had a whole slew of gigs coming up. Correct?
Yeah, actually.
So what do you got coming down the pipe?
Tomcats on the 15th.
Of
and-
March, correct?
yeah, of March.
That one will probably have passed.
Yeah, I should probably say what month it is. Then we're playing Deep Ellum Metal Festival the 22nd. We're going to be playing at the Curtain Club.
Are we playing the 21st or the 22nd? 23rd? Okay. I'm going to be out there all weekend, so I'm going to come catch you guys.
Sweet. Yeah. We're going to be playing the 23rd, which is the next thing I was saying at J&J's.
At J&J's, yeah.
We have a gig in the old dirty basement, so we're probably going to miss you. I don't know, depending on when you're playing. And then, shit, I should get my calendar. It's like, there's a bunch of them.
Get the phone out. Jay.
In a pretty, I'm working on it. It just
See, we had the same kind of thing. Like, we had actually kind of a slow winter where we didn't do a whole lot. And then, like, as soon as, like, we started booking for February and March, like, we were all the way into September now.
Still got a lot of booking to go, but
Still have a lot of booking to go and more dates to fill, but it's like, shit, we're booking them far out right now.
you should absolutely.
man.
It's a good time for metal.
It
Mm-hmm.
is.
Dude, Joe, I'm sorry for talking off mic, but I was reaching.
That's okay. But let me say the rest of the gigs real quick, and then I'll pass it right back to you.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So March 29th, we're playing at Reno's. That show we'll be playing with Malconstruct.
Awesome.
Again, that's a show we're really looking forward to. I mean, we're looking forward to all of them, but like we haven't gotten to play with them in a long time.
Yes.
And then the 6th, we're playing at J&J's. That's Silver Tongue Devil, Skull Archer, and Combat.
Oh, nice.
We haven't got to play with Combat since we played.
we just had Billy LaFond on from Skull Archer.
Yeah. I was listening to that episode. I did
also
not
did a
know
really-
he was an MMA fighter. That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't know either.
He's like so chill.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. He's an
Apparently.
MMA fighter.
Holy
He's
shit.
got a record.
I did not know that.
He also did a really good review of our record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
no,
was
Like-
very nice.
Yeah, that was nice of him. He seems like a good dude. I haven't gotten a chance to catch up with him, frankly, but he seems.
Yeah, I only
really-
know him in name. I've never met the guy.
Yeah,
He's a
Real-
good
real
dude.
nice
Skull
guy.
Archer's pretty dope, too. Like, I enjoy those guys. They're a lot of fun.
it's like thrash, right?
Yeah,
I
like-
was trying to find stuff of him.
Like, nasty indie thrash, like, but, good.
yeah, for sure. But that's the 6th, April 6th at J&J's. Then we're gonna go up to Oklahoma City in May,
Where you playing?
the Blue Note Lounge.
Nice.
Are you playing May 11th?
No.
I was going to say, because if you are, you took our fucking spot, you bastard.
No, we're not playing. We didn't take your spot. No, don't throw those accusations around here.
Yeah,
Come
hold
man.
on.
Get out.
We're all professionals
Get
here.
out of the studio.
I
Sir,
see what this has
I
been.
doth
This whole thing has been a farce.
Sir.
To drag us in here and hold us.
What are these accusations?
we don't even have a
This
podcast.
whole podcast was to,
Yeah,
right
to
there.
levy
was to
these
just-
accusations at us.
Podcast. This is an evidence.
We started
evidence
this
gathering.
a year ago just so one day we could corner you about taking our Blue Note.
This
gear.
elaborate
Do the
ruse.
whole time.
Jesus.
My God.
If
Like
you
the
if you
Prestige.
took that much effort, then you deserve to win. Frankly,
Dude, my spite runs
we
so
built
deep.
up a business from the ground up with our heart and souls, just for the sole
Have this
purpose of-
fantastic studio and do a podcast in it just to fucking get
just for this moment right here. And then after this, they're going to sell
to
everything.
have us on the hook.
We're not even going to sell it. We're just setting it on fire. As soon as
It's
you guys
fucking
walk
done.
out the door.
Life doesn't have meaning anymore. I need to find a new meaning.
It's a very Varg Vickerness thing of you.
And that new meaning,
We fucking talked shit about him for like 20 minutes last episode.
I like him, but I don't like him.
Is Varg Vikernes a massive douchebag? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Thulian perspective.
now there's something in June. We're doing something with you guys.
That's like a house party or something.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That'll
Yeah.
be fun.
It's
Yeah.
TBD. TBD is what the note says
TBD.
here.
It's in Crum. It's at a house party in
Is it
Crum.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's
that's
in
not that
Crum.
far. I can
What's
do that.
awesome is there's only 2 cops in Crump.
You can do that. He said after you already
do
said
that?
yes.
Yeah, I can
of
do
course
that.
you can do that.
I'm just saying, I'm confirming what we already know,
Oh,
and that's that I can do it.
They're trying to get a food truck out.
like
Reconfirmation. Listen, confirmation is really important to me. I was raised Catholic. Okay, I just like saying the word.
yuck.
I like to confirm things. things need to be stated clearly. I don't
For a
know.
record, that was not a yuck to the Catholic Church. That was a yuck to Joe saying that.
I have a yuck at the Catholic Church.
All right, then. It's double yucks. And then the last one we have is July 12th at Tomcats. There's some pretty big bands on that.
Wow, man, that's a shitload of
Oh,
gigs
that's
to,
the
like-
one with fucking Defleshed and Gutted and Necrosis. And,
Oh, nice.
What?
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
pretty sure we're opening. Yeah, when we got our vocalist got because he likes the real brutal slammy shit like Defleshed and Gutted, and I do too. But yeah, he asked us, "Do we want to play that with Defleshed and Gutted?" I said,
Like, fuck, yes, we
That's
do.
a yes. That's
Fuck
a
yeah,
huge
man.
yes, especially at Tomcats, dude.
Yeah.
That's going
that's
to
gonna be great, and that crowd's gonna be
banger.
Yeah, that crowd's going to be fucking nuts.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Because I'll say
Very
this, Tomcats has like a built-in crowd of metalheads that are just
It really
there,
does,
tearing
man.
it up.
It's a fun venue to play in the sound.
Yeah, it's
really,
very, very fun.
It is great.
What were you saying a second ago? Oh, it's a good time to play metal. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, it is.
And I agree with that in the sense, I mean, obviously, it's still not profitable.
No.
You know, like the example I always use is Frank Mullen of Suffocation just recently had to retire from the band after how many fucking years, you know?
Right.
Almost 30 years, I'm pretty sure, of playing, and them being like one of the most venerated bands in the entire genre of death metal. One of my favorites for sure. And, you know, but that said, nowadays with bands like, there's emergence of bands like Blood Incantation, Spectral Voice, Phobocosm, Nucleus, Vervum,
Yeah.
what was the band? The Void
Virulent
Engineers?
Depravity. Oh, Cosmic Atrophy.
That's a really fucking
Yeah,
good
if
album.
anyone, yeah, dude.
It's a really good album.
I've highly recommend Cosmic Atrophy, the album Void Engineers.
Okay.
It's fucking. It's Name Your Price on Bandcamp, and if anyone's ever listened to First Fragment, or I don't know how to pronounce this band's name, but it's like Cethelist. It's a C. It's like C apostrophe THEILLEIST.
I'm not.
Anyways, Phil
familiar with
Tugas is
I'm not
like
getting it.
is like the tech guitarist par excellence right now in Canada.
He's
So,
really, really
yeah,
fucking good.
like I said, he's in First Fragment, and
Yeah.
he plays guitar for Cosmic Atrophy. But anyways, Cosmic Atrophy is very, very, it's very spacey death metal.
Oh, I can dig that.
which
yeah.
which I think there's been a big emergence of that. Really,
There's
like I
some
said, with Blood
atonal stuff
Incantation.
going on there too. Like he does some,
Oh yeah, dude.
and his pitch harmonics are just nasty.
He's just a sick. Philippe Tugas is such a fucking like Canada is the epicenter of technical death metal. Period.
yeah,
like
That's
that is.
how
there's
I-
no
yeah.
disputing
Really?
that.
That's. I mean, yeah. With that, I think that's where it really. Because I mean, Gorguts really, I think, was the first band to really. I mean, besides, like I said,
And
Atheist.
briefly, Gorod.
Not briefly. They're French though.
Yeah, that's true.
They're French.
Not French,
And
Canadian.
not briefly either. By the way, they made their first 4 albums, especially what's it called? Leading Vision and Maze of Recycled Creeds are fucking top-notch gold standard tech death albums, up there with Necrophagus Epitaph, which I think is the standard for tech death in this day and age for sure. But yeah, as far as Canada goes, I mean, you've got Gorguts, who are the fucking masters of the dissonant, real weird, skronky, the shit that I like to try to write,
Like
and,
half
and imitate.
experimental.
Yeah, exactly. I really strive to write that shit that's real ugly, but somehow is not. Anyways, and Quo Vadis, obviously, Cryptopsy, fucking.
Man, you
First
know your
Fragment.
shit.
Well, I spent a lot of time not getting laid in high school.
Hey, man, me
So-
too.
So,
Me too.
a lot of time on metal forums and listening to shit, you know, and listening to things and trading files with people in other
I
countries.
guarantee you, I was the only freshman that was into cephalic carnage.
1,000%. When Anomalies came out, I'm trying to tell all my friends about it, and no one wants to fucking listen to it with me.
They were just like,
Like,
what is
why is it changing so much? It's good. It's good.
That's
shit.
why I know Eric
Hell
Mark
yeah.
from Rod of Obsidian is because I wore an Agent Orange shirt to school one time, and he was just like, nobody fucking listens to Agent
Hell
Orange.
yeah, dude. I fucks with Agent Orange to the maximum. But yeah, man. But yeah, it's a really good time right now. It's like the new golden era. It's like a revival of what was
Our
happening in the
scene,
90s.
I remember, like, and not even just in the death metal, because like I said, people are starting to branch out and do a bunch of other shit. But I remember because we started Diesel Beast up about 5 years ago, and about like there was like 3 or 4 metal bands in
Sure.
Denton.
Yeah, there was no.
I've been living here
metal.
for about 7 years, and there
Yeah.
was none.
There was
when I first
none,
got,
and
besides
like-
Power Trip.
Yeah.
That was it.
And even
And
in
Brutal
Dallas
Juice,
and Fort
maybe.
Worth, there were some mainstays around, but there weren't
Sure.
a bunch of new metal bands
Right.
coming up. And then here in probably the last, I'd say 3 years, or so, a ton of bands have been popping up. And I mean, even in Denton, there's bands in Denton right now that I haven't even fucking heard yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And I mean, I don't know. It's whatever's happening, I'm into it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that was one of my big things with it, not to be some, grandiose, altruistic dickhead about it, but like, I really think that like, that I've noticed, especially like, kind of like what you're saying, there is a bigger preponderance of metal musicians than meets the eye around here.
Yeah.
That just are looking, because it's hard to get on a bill if you're just a band by yourself and you want to play with a bunch of singer-songwriter mother. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's hard to get a fucking show that way.
But once you start building a scene.
Exactly. And that's what me and Aiden from Malconstructive talked about a lot, is if we just when we get a show and we're able to have an open slot, let the other band know about it. We all fucking build together. We all win together.
We operate the same way.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And I understand at some point, I mean, you got to look out for yourself. Pay yourself first, but don't. There's so many bands, and I won't name.
Oh no, man! I want to make it very clear
that will put their foots on the necks of little ones to try to not lose the spot.
That's true.
And
we were actually talking to Charles from A Killer's Vision last week, who's from Canada.
Sure.
And he says that the entire Canadian scene is like that. It's like cutthroat. Like those
I believe it.
hate each other.
Basically, you got to have a following before they'll give you shows. And it's like, how the fuck do you get a following if you can't play shows?
Get shows, exactly. Well, their justification is probably, especially with them being so tech prevalent up there, that you can use the YouTube avenue or Bandcamp.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Something like that. Let me look at your Bandcamp purchases and numbers and all that kind of shit.
He would say that straight up, like he'd try and book a show, and he was brand new, didn't have a following yet. He'd try and book a show, and he'd be like, well, how many YouTube videos do you have?
Right.
He's like, I've got like one. He's like, how many views? Like
which is relative in this day and age, irrelevant rather in this day and age. But at the same time, like if you can't play good shit, what difference does it make?
Bam.
Exactly.
Like like it doesn't make any. I mean, it does make a difference. I understand from the standpoint of a promoter, because money is the bottom line. But I say this as someone who's never been in the position to make this kind of decision because I don't have the money.
No, go ahead. Run with it.
But I mean, I would rather put out a better product. As someone, again, like I know shit about metal. I know what people who don't just listen to shit like, and there's nothing wrong with these bands, but like Revocation or the more mainstream, as it were, bands.
Just gotta hate on Revocation.
I'm not hating on them. I don't care for them, but I'm not hating on them. They're not objectively bad. I just don't like them. That's all. But there are bands. I'm trying to think of another band. That was a bad example. But anyway, you know what I'm saying.
I do. I understand. Like there is.
Killswitch Engage is a better example.
That's a much better.
There's a big split where it's like there are certain dudes that do it because it's sort of fashionable and they kind of dig that aspect of it, and then there's dudes. I mean, this isn't trying to make us sound better, but we kind of are. But like we live this shit though. I mean, like this is an every fucking day thing for us.
Oh yeah.
It's not like we're just Monster Energy drink paid me to come out here and sell jerseys.
No, you can ask.
Not a sponsorship I would turn down though.
No, me neither. Or Miller.
No, that's the funny thing about metal is because like any punk rock band would be like, oh, you're fucking selling. Any metalhead would be like, if I can get paid, I'm gonna.
Why not?
Take it.
I mean, if I don't have to compromise anything, like I drink Miller beer. If Miller wants to give me money, why wouldn't I?
I want an Adidas sponsorship. I just want one.
That makes
sense. Put that out there.
Joe has a track suit / track pants problem.
You are the most comfy looking drummer I've ever
seen.
Dude,
okay, now listen. This is not just out of the blue. Okay, we talked about this. It's like, look, man, I want to look good, but I want to be comfortable on stage.
You look like a mobster's lawyer.
Thanks.
Stage.
That's a really big compliment. As a Sicilian, that really warms my heart.
Bigger one that he deserves for dressing like he does.
So anyway, we're like, all right, how can we be comfortable, but like also look really fucking great? You know, it's like tracksuit. It's the obvious answer.
Which I agree, but like I said, either one of us. It only has to be one of us or all of us wearing.
I mean, we've already established that since I have this disease. Now,
if you all go do it, though, you need to start wearing the gold chains, too.
No,
I said the exact
That's what I'm saying, too, man. Like, we want to do it right. And the sunglasses.
Yeah, and the fucking shell toe Adidas.
Yes.
White wife beater. Exactly.
Yeah.
Eastern Bloc style on them.
Usually I'm wearing my shell toe
Yeah,
Adidas.
exactly.
I'm serious.
Exactly.
Eastern Bloc on their ass.
Exactly.
I'm saying.
We are here for playing metal.
We hear you have death in your metal over here. We wish to play it.
We wish to see the death in the metal.
Well, speaking of that, Cytotoxin is another band.
Oh,
I
so
recommend
good.
everybody check. If you have any interest in tech death whatsoever, that shit. They're all vegans and they're German and they are fucking insane.
I have discovered for some reason that when vegans get a hold of tech or black metal, it is always the most brutal shit.
Dude, cytotoxic.
And I think it's because they're not happy because they don't have cheeseburgers.
It might be. It could be that.
But maybe they're just thinking of all the animals suffering and it fills them with rage.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, cattle decapitation be some fucking players. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I like their vocalist a lot. Actually, now that
I'll
respected
say this,
band.
that band they are principled for
yes,
sure.
They are. They have stuck to the agenda the entire time.
The entire time.
They are not wavering on their not liking.
Yeah, they committed to that
whatsoever. They're like Goat Whore on the anti-Jesus thing. They have just stuck right with it, buddy. They are with it. That's fine though. I love Goat Whore. Y'all dig on some Goat Whore?
I like. I'm a big fan of Goat Whore.
Hell yeah, I love shit like that.
So we're getting kind of the end of this thing, but I want to ask you guys a few more questions. I was going to ask that standard interview question, like, what are your influences? But you've literally named every fucking one of them.
I would like to just, if I could.
Well, go ahead. We'll both answer it then, Joe.
Okay.
Go right ahead, player.
I would say that we are like a quarter Pantera, a quarter Opeth, a quarter Death, and a quarter Carcass.
That's a big thing. I fucking love Carcass.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty accurate. I mean, I'm more of the difference between. I mean, obviously everyone contributes to the writing, clearly,
right?
But
that shows actually because there's so much different influence.
Oh yeah, because I mean, obviously, like me and Christian I'm writing the riffs and most of the skeletons of things, but Jared is the one that helps it get us. Sorry about that. Get it out of our heads and onto the fucking DAW there, and onto a track. But anyways. Krishna has a more melodic approach to things where I like shit to be ugly and more dissonant.
Right.
I like shit more like Gorguts and Cryptopsy and Convulsing, Ulcerate and shit. But he's more of a Megadeth, Vervum-ish. Like again, we all like Vervum, but that's his more stuff. But it works though.
I tend to lean more melodically myself.
Sure.
Also,
yeah, I mean, I like that shit too. But I mean, it works great because he has really, really good sense of what to put over what.
Which is cool because like if he's doing this really solid melodic lick, it kind of opens you. You can do some weird dissonant shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, he has extreme. And Joe will agree. I'm sure he has extremely good instincts on just. He's thrown shit spur of the moment over one of our songs. Japanese cocaine, that tapping part.
That's not really the name of the song.
Fucking name for
that's
a
not
song,
the actual name.
That's not the actual name of the song.
I'm going to start a Lament Configuration cover band.
That's what we.
Japanese.
That's
cocaine.
what we came. That's the name of the moment I came up for it, and then there was a D&D item named after it, and then it just stuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, that tapping part that he did that over the.
Yeah. No, it's
super cool.
And that's the thing. Like some of the riffs that you play, I'm like, what would you do melodically with that? And he just comes up with something totally unexpected.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Like, I don't know. It's really nice when you can just look at another dude in your band and be like, hey, man, just go. And then they immediately know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty much all of us. I mean, it might take a little more depending on, because as they'll all tell you, I'm very impatient.
Actually, what's really fucking funny is it's hilarious that you said that or something to that effect, because before I even met you, I was at that Monogamizer, and I met everybody else in the band, and they were like, yeah, that's Sam. He's kind of a dick. We love him, though. But it was like, your reputation totally preceded you. They were like, Sam is an angry dude.
I suppose that's fair to say.
I mean,
it was all said in a very complimentary light, but it was like, they totally were just like, yeah, that's Sam. He's a little sour.
We do kind of rag on each other.
Right?
I mean, but that's not the first time I've been introduced.
Well, I'm Carrek, and I'm mean and loud, and anybody will tell you that
Fair
shit.
Fair enough. Hey, man, it takes all kinds.
It does.
As they say.
I didn't mean to derail the conversation. Yeah, your band's talking shit about you behind your back.
No, it's fine. We talk shit to each other's face.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Like, we'll say like an insult behind someone's back because they're not there, and be like, when he gets here, I'm going to
say that.
And then we'll say it.
That legitimizes everything.
I told Jared he looks like the gargoyle that drives the motorcycle on Gargoyles.
His name was Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, exactly. Which, when I thought about it, kind of doesn't work because he's easily the coolest one because he's got a mohawk and drives a motorcycle.
Fuck yeah, and devil horns.
He's fucking around with the city, but all the rest of them are not. Like, he's kind of a boss when you think about it.
He really is. That shows something.
So it kind of compliments Jared in a way that I don't like. But that was a great show. You know who did the voice for Goliath?
No.
Keith David.
Oh.
Keith fucking David, motherfucker.
Yeah, man. The spells of living stone.
The spells of...
Fucking no, man. I could do a whole fucking episode on gargoyles.
Living Stone.
That was easily
Spells.
the most metal kid show that ever came out.
Of Living Stones.
Hey, dude, that's good. That's a good one. It's the pauses. They're spot on.
Pauses in there. The spells go
I'm surprised
We're
Joe
really
was
walking away with this thing.
Oh, no.
God damn it. You beat me to it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you. It's good that you're here.
So is that going to be the end of the podcast, guys? Just 15 minutes of Christopher Walken impressions?
Hey, man, if we ended this with Christopher Walken impressions, that's cool with me.
Is that what you want?
You know.
Yeah.
Talk, but don't spit.
God damn it. Okay, we can't end the show like
He's laughing his sick fucking head off.
Oh, you're overmodulating.
I'm sorry.
You fucking sick bastard. All right. So how should we end it then? So we don't want impressions.
Why don't you tell everybody out there where they can find you guys online?
That's a great idea. I'm terrible at promotion. But Joe, you got the shows. Pull it up, player.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did go through the shows.
We went through the shows.
Do it
like,
again. No one.
We need to know where they can find you on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams.
I need to know.
Are we on Instagram?
We are on Instagram.
Fuck you,
Lament
dude.
Configuration, the
So
band.
booty models.
Wait, did
get
you
on
say
that.
Lament Configuration, the band?
Butt model.
Yes.
Okay.
Hashtag ass cleavage.
Hashtag butt
Yeah,
job.
we're okay with ass cleavage. That's fine. Just keep it clean. You know, your crack. Just wash your crack if you're going to take a picture of it. Okay? I don't want to see no butt fuzz or any other
Hashtag
things.
no butt fuzz.
No
Take
butt
care of
fuzz.
2019.
yourselves, folks.
Hashtag no butt fuzz.
Hashtag
2019.
streak
We
free.
don't have butt fuzz
Hashtag
anymore.
streak-
We defeated butt fuzz. We have not defeated measles though. They are back.
Apparently.
Is that a statement on vaccinations?
It is. It
Oh,
is.
it's-
Anti-vaccination.
no, the measles are actually-
Hold
coming
on.
back.
Joe is taking a stance. Right now.
No, just the measles are coming
Okay.
back. That's,
All right,
that's
man.
not a political
Read the
statement.
show. Stop it, man.
All right, anyway.
Stop being
So
distracted.
we're playing March 15th,
Right.
Tomcats, March 22nd at Deep Elemental Fest at the Curtain Club, and March 23rd at J&J's, and March 29th at Reno's. We'll just say the March gigs.
Some real
You can look-
ticket shows.
Big dickin' shows. And you are on Instagram at Lament Configuration Band.
The
band.
The band.
The band.
The band.
Yes.
And I assume you're
We're also on Facebook,
On
yeah.
Facebook, which is I just realized that is the most horrible social media platform at our
What,
disposal.
Facebook?
It's fucking horrible, man.
It is in some ways. Yeah, it is in most ways, rather.
I recently took it off my phone and like just kind of cut it out of my life for like a couple of weeks.
It's
and
not a bad thing.
I felt so much fucking
It's not
better.
a bad thing.
Yeah, you do feel better without it, but it's so useful.
I've had like cocaine withdrawals that weren't as fucking rewarding as quitting Facebook for 2 weeks.
That's a pretty tall statement there, my friend.
Just saying.
Wow.
I agree 1,000%.
Allegedly.
All right, on that note, we're going to play this next song from Lament Configuration, or possibly the same song
Man, if
from
we could put
last
Japanese
time.
cocaine here,
Yes.
that would be so great.
Yes.
I don't even think that one's on the EP, but now we have to do it now.
All right, so
we can
this
put it in there.
this is Lament Configuration with Japanese cocaine.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. We will catch you next time.
Thank you guys for
Thank
coming
you
out.
very
Thank
much
you
for
so
having
much.
us.